There are a lot of opinions on how long should you practice singing for. In this video, we're going to talk about that once and for all so you can get started with your singing training. Make sure you stick to the end because I have a resource for you that is going to help you make your practices much more efficient. My name is Jorgelina. I've been a vocal coach for 13 years and I specialize in teaching adults how to sing contemporary music from a holistic and integral approach. When we talk about how long our practice sessions should be, we need to consider a few things. So firstly, you need to consider how much time can you dedicate to singing realistically. Secondly, you need to think about how much time will you dedicate to singing realistically. You have to have in mind that people tend to procrastinate when it comes to practice. That is a reality. Even when we really try and we plan to practice every day, life happens and the singing often gets put aside. So that is something to consider as well. So you do need to think of what is the minimum that you can realistically commit. Some other things that might come across is what do you need to practice? If you need to be by yourself, then you need to find the times in which there are not a lot of people in your house. If you have flatmates, what is the times in which they are outside when you are in the house, etc. If you have trouble finding time to practice and you really want to, let me know in the comments below. That is something that I'm sure a lot of people can empathize with. Now let's talk about what's recommended. When we sing, we're working at the level of the muscles and we are working with creating new habits as well. So then the minimum amount of times in a week that you need to practice if you want to get results is 3 times a week in different days. So for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that is a good way to start. You want to make sure that you have a resting day in between. If you are only going to be practicing 3 days a week, make sure you don't practice 3 on a row. And ideally, when someone is just starting, we are recommending at least 20 to 30 minutes per session. It might seem like a lot to you or it might seem very short. The reality is that when you are just starting, you don't want to tire the muscle a lot, and when you start singing, you are very likely not going to have a very efficient phonation, which means you don't want to be singing for too long or you could damage your voice. So at the beginning, it's not really about repeating and building strength. It's more about organizing the body to make the voice muscles more efficient. And that is not so much about mindless repetition, but it really is about being present and mindful in your practice. So if you can dedicate half an hour a day, 3 times a week in separate days, that is going to give you very good results at the beginning. Now, of course, have in mind that as you progress more, if you have big singing goals, if you want to become really good at singing, and if you want to master your vocal technique, you are naturally gonna want more practice time. And if you have training, you are going to be able to cope with longer practice sessions. If you want to have a very effective session, you don't just come to your singing session not knowing what to do. You need to have a plan. Your singing sessions are going to be more efficient if you know what you're practicing. Ideally, if you are doing a practice session, you want to have a vocal warm-up. Depending on what you practice, the sessions are going to be organized differently. But typically, you're going to start with a voice and body warm-up. Then you're going to go to your technical exercises. And then you usually work with a song, usually, but not always. And at the end, it's recommended to also do a voice cool down. Go to the description below and check a free resource that I have for you. It is a vocal warm-up that is very gentle, so you can use it every day. You can download it from the description below. Go ahead and I hope you enjoy it. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and I will see you next video.